All right, ladies and gentlemen, the left is up in arms. They've taken a millisecond out of their bashing nonstop of Stephen Bannon, and they've directed their attention to Senator Sessions, who's been nominated to be the next Attorney General of the United States. Just watch Chuck Schumer.
Well, look, like any nominee, he has to be questioned very carefully, not only about his past, but about the future. One question I'd want to ask him, what do you want to do with the Civil Rights Division? Things like that. So it's premature to say yes or no, but certainly a strong, thorough questioning of Jeff Sessions before one supports or opposes him is much called for. These are troubling things, and the only fair thing to do is ask a lot of questions, very thorough questions, and then make an opinion.
Okay, then make an opinion. They're talking about things that Sessions said 30 years ago. Chuck Schumer has served side by side in the Senate with Jeff Sessions for years and years. He's been in there for 20 years. I think Schumer's tenure in the Senate is a little less. He was a congressman first. Nonetheless, he knows Sessions. My goodness, this is going to be a witch hunt. It's going to be a witch hunt against most of Trump's nominees, and certainly a witch hunt against the Supreme Court nominee, whoever he or she may be. Now let's take it to the Al Sharpton show. Oh, the Al, I just cringe when I say it. He had on this man who used to work as a federal prosecutor and is now a college professor. Get a load of this.
It's not about him being a conservative Republican. I was privileged to work at the Justice Department during both Clinton and Bush administrations, but this man is a radical extremist. If he is confirmed, criminal justice reform is dead. This is a man who loves the failed war on drugs. He loves mandatory minimum sentences. He loves private prisons. What doesn't he like? Black Lives Matter. Trump says if he's president, he's going to investigate that movement that's trying to make things more fair for African American people.
Let's see. He's going to investigate Black Lives Matter. Check. He favors the war on drugs. Check. He likes mandatory minimum sentences. Check. Sounds like my kind of guy. Sounds like America's kind of guy. If you think America likes or favors or supports Black Lives Matter, that movement and what they've done and who they are, wow. But it's MSNBC, it's Al Sharpton show, for crying out loud. How more out of touch could you be? And he's a radical? He's a radical extremist? Sessions is a radical extremist? You're the radical extremist, sir. You're the left-wing radical extremist, calling mainstream America radical extremists. That's why you lost the election. That's why you've lost 1,000 seats since Obama took over, because you don't get it. Okay? And I'm here to help you get it. Now watch this one.
This is a man who would be over the Voting Rights Division. He would be over the Civil Rights Division, which under President Obama has done more investigations of local police departments than all of the administrations combined. So again, all of these progressive interventions for civil rights, they'd be not only dead on arrival, he'd take us back. Because one thing we've seen with other conservative administrations is not only do they stop bringing the cases, they start bringing civil rights cases on behalf of white people.
Bringing civil rights cases on behalf of white people? That should be obligatory, by the way. Anytime you say white people, you should have to spit. Imagine bringing civil rights cases on behalf of white people. What's this country coming to? You ever hear such garbage in your life, such blatant racism, in my opinion, in your life? Wow. Sessions might actually bring civil rights cases on behalf of white people. I don't know what to say. Lock them up, throw away the key. Maybe that's even too good for them, because we know the Justice Department for the last 8 years is only there to bring civil rights cases on behalf of black people. We know that. And that's been accepted by the media, by the country, by the Republicans. That's all about to change. Equal justice under the law, even for white people. All right. Now, NBC has a habit of altering tapes. They did it with Mitt Romney when he was talking about a Wawa when he was running in '08. They edited it to make him look dumb, like he never saw a Wawa, like, ooh, the sandwich comes out the other end, when he was in fact describing the process of how the sandwich came out the other end. They edited all that out. They've done multiple editings, MSNBC, NBC, one or the other over the years, and it's really disgusting. I want you to watch Priebus on Meet the Press with Chuck Todd Sunday.
Let me ask you a question about the appointment of General Mike Flynn to National Security Advisor. Essentially, there are two corner offices in the White House. You're going to be in one. He's going to be in the other. In February, Flynn posted a video listing bombings perpetrated by Muslims with the comment, "Fear of Muslims is rational." Can you equivocally rule out a registry for Muslims?
Look, I'm not going to rule out anything, but I wouldn't. We're not going to have a registry based on a religion.
Can you rule out a registry for Muslims? And he said, I'm not going to rule out anything, but you're not going to have a registry based on religion. You're going to have a registry for Muslims coming into the country from terrorist hotspots, not Americans, not American Muslims, but here, you heard him say it. I won't rule anything out, but you're not going to have a registry based on religion. So Meet the Press tweets that out. Let's take a look at Meet the Press's tweet. Reince on Trump's proposed Muslim ban. I'm not going to rule anything out, but we're not going to have a registry based on a religion. Accurate, fair, to the point. Now, let's look how, I believe this is NBC News, tweets out what you just heard. Can you rule out a registry for Muslims? Asks Chuck Todd. I'm not going to rule out anything, says Reince on Meet the Press. That is deceptive, insightful, trash, and garbage. NBC knows it, I believe, and I believe it was done on purpose. How can it be done by accident? It makes it sound like Muslims in this country, based on their religion, are going to have to be put in a registry when Priebus said exactly the opposite. Shame on NBC, but it's no surprise. Newsmax Prime with my friend J.D. Hayworth is next, but first, ladies and gentlemen, Bill Tucker has this special report on the left's push to tighten gun laws and why it very often, more than not, doesn't work to reduce crime.
Illinois State Representative Sonia Harper wants all the bullets sold in her state to have serial numbers as a way to fight gun violence in Chicago. She wants the serial numbers on the base of the bullet so that, in theory, police can trace the bullet back to where it was bought, get a record of who bought the bullet to prove who fired the bullet. Following the advice of Chicago's police superintendent, who recommends locking up criminals who use guns to commit crime, apparently it's just too simple. Before Illinois gets all swept up in the emotion about numbering bullets, its lawmakers should look to Maryland. Maryland had a similar system in place for 5 years, spent $15 million on the program, and not a single crime was solved. In Massachusetts, the state attorney general is going after gun makers for making a dangerous product. The AG there is demanding that Glock and Remington surrender a wide range of internal documents, including safety-related complaints from consumers. There's been no outclamoring, mind you, no outcry for such regulation. Gun companies have generally been very reactive to any reported safety problems. Let's face it, a gun is a dangerous product, and it should be for anyone on the business end of a gun. The goal of Massachusetts is the same as in Illinois: raise the cost, increase the bureaucracy of gun ownership, effectively making it difficult for law-abiding citizens to own guns. Do you think criminals give 2 cents about the law? Bill Tucker, Newsmax, New York.